All right, so Blake is working on his truck he's calling Tina, and we took the topper off this morning, and he swapped over the tailgate and put a piece of plexiglass in the back window because that left sliding panel was broke out. But somebody has got her shackled up like an old muscle car. They put some big old shackles under there. And the tires for it are actually too big. The tire diameter is supposed to be like something 25 and a half inches tall. And these things are like 27 and a half inches tall on the back and 26 inches tall on the front. So he wants to do some tires and wheels on it and kind of lower it down and make a cool street truck out of it. But first things first is we got to figure out, we're going to get the back end. We got to figure out this ride height situation. However, with that tire, we're still not going to be super accurate, but we're going to start out by making the shackles the length of what should be on there. The original Toyota shackle was like a 3 3/8 inch from the center hole to center hole. We're going to make ours 3 inches center to center. Not that 3/8 of an inch will make much difference, but we're doing it. We might as well bring her down to a little more appropriate height. So, no, we need to pull the tape right there out a little further here. So at the center of the wheel right now, we're just shy of 31 and a half inches on the passenger side, and on the driver's side, we are 32 inches. So, yeah, we're going to re-drill these shackles, see if we can get this thing sitting down a little bit better, and we'll reconvene with you here shortly. All right, so now we're grabbing the jack stands, and we're going to place the jack stands in front of the rear leaf spring hanger here. So we can set the truck down on those, and then we'll unbolt the leaf spring on both sides, and the truck will be supported, and we can jack the axle up, which will move our leaf springs up to those other holes. So anyway, that's what we're doing. You're going to want to take that all the way off with a gun and not touch it with your hand. I asked it nice twice. Then I told it was coming off.
Yeah.
That's what the torches are for, right? I'll preheat the other one for you. So while we're in here plugging away, I took the little factory plastic mirrors off and replaced them with the chrome ones that we took off of that parts for runner, which, especially when he has the topper on, will be nice. Gives you a lot more viewing area. And, yeah, chrome matches the chrome grill and door handles, and he's getting wheels with a chromed or polished lip, so it should all tie in nice. Meanwhile, we're still fighting getting our bolt hole sizes correct, because we thought they were just a 1/2 inch bolt they were using in there, but it turns out they're like a fuzz over 9/16. Pain in the butt, whatever it is. So just fighting with that. All right. I can already tell from the gap between that tire and that fender well that what we did helped a ton. And it's still got a lot of rake. But some of it is the tire. That rear tire is 1.5 inches taller than the front tire. But yeah, we're still going to have a little ways to go.
Much better, though.
But huge improvement. So before, on this side, we were at 31 and a half. So just changing our shackle length dropped us down to like 28 and a half, which is crazy, right? Like 3 inches difference. That's a lot. Let's check the driver's side. I would assume we got a similar amount of drop. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is like 29, just shot. Yep. That was 32. So, yeah, that's crazy. So much better. It doesn't look quite as, raked out. shackled up hot rod. Now we need to get the appropriate size tire and wheel on it. Then we can figure out our actual lowering from there so we can get it at more of a street truck stance. But that was a huge improvement for today, for sure. So I had placed the order in Carter Lumber. Did an in-garage delivery for me today. So I've got 1/2-inch OSB, some 1/2-inch treated plywood to go around the base, and then some 2x6s, 16 foot for the verticals to put in between. So my plan is, as I had done in my old garage, is to put a vertical in between each of my 8-foot centers so that I got 4-foot on center verticals. And then you can put 2 rows of insulation stapled on the outside edge. Never had a problem with it sagging. Mine in the old barn was open for quite a few months before I finally put OSB over it, and it never sagged, never had any issues. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with it here. I mean, it's gonna be hanging from the top, right, when you staple the top, and then again, I never had a problem before. I'm sure I won't again. So I'm looking forward to getting started on that project. But unfortunately, we kind of used the barn for storage this winter, and so there's a bunch of crap in the way. So I got to move a bunch of crap out of the way before I can even get started. But isn't that the way it goes? We've got 5 freaking tailgates in the garage, dude. Like 5 of them. So junkyard find, red Toyota tailgate from like, I don't know, 85-ish, 6-ish, 2-wheel drive. We've got the extra gate for Spike, the Tacoma that came with the new box when I put that on. We've got another junkyard find tailgate, which is from like a 77, 78 box that I found at the junkyard, which these are just kind of art pieces, right? And then we got Blake found like an 86.5 2-wheel drive tailgate, and then he's got an extra tailgate for Sandy, his 4Runner. So we got 5 freaking tailgates and grills, and I got Corolla bucket seats that I have good intentions of getting put into Spike at some point, and extra tin, and doors for upstairs, and heaters, and signs, and all the cool man cave stuff. But currently we just need it the heck out of the way so we can work. And I've been working on moving stuff for a half hour. It doesn't feel like I've done nothing yet. So we may have to put the S10 outside while we're working in here, because we need that space to move some stuff into right now. So I think we got to try and shuffle over that humongous pile of 2x6s, move the scissor lift, and try and finagle the S10 out of here so that we can utilize that area to store stuff while we're working on putting up the insulation and the tin. Well, we made some progress tonight. We got everything kind of moved out of the way that needed to be moved out of the way, and we started putting in those the center posts, I guess, to get us our 4-foot on center around the building. So we got from the one halfway at the stairway point around this end of the building. We got to do on the end here, they've got these angle braces behind the scissor lift. There's that angle brace in the corner that we got to notch around, but we want to frame in around the windows first. So yeah, anyway, every little bit's progress, so we'll take what we can get. All right, so we even got Jocelyn involved tonight. She went around with the great stuff and plugged all the little gaps at the base and at the wainscot tops. Hopefully try and eliminate possibilities of critters coming in. We caulked around the light fixtures, so for the same reason, try to keep bees or whatever, bugs from trying to build nests and coming through. We got the rest of our 2x material up for our 4-foot on center spacing and built box frames for the windows. Really, the only thing we have left to do out in this section is whatever we're going to do above the doors there. We probably need to figure that out. We're going to need to figure out like nailers for our OSB up in this area, but coming along. And then we brought in our insulation, so we will go have some dinner. And I think we're going to come back out, maybe start trying to hang some of that insulation up in these walls. So the insulation is going way faster than the verticals, and instantly, within like, I don't even know if we've been out here a whole hour yet. Like, it just makes such a big difference when you can do mass pieces fairly quickly like that. But we got a little bit of wiring to wrap up in this corner, and then we're trying to do all the full pieces first before we get into piecemealing and cutting kind of the little pieces, the fit-in pieces. So that, admittedly, that's going to make it look like it went way faster. But yeah, it's coming together. I'm stoked.